Do you mostly travel for festivals? Because I've never done the real festival traveling. And in some ways, I don't prefer going to festivals because I just want to see what the scene is like.
I do travel for both pleasure and for also festivals. So within the last year, I've traveled to Canada twice, maybe 3 times. Twice, 3 times, something like that. It's fine. Three.
No. Yeah. Because we did Victoria and then Victoria again for the festival and then Vancouver.
Yes.
What's Victoria like?
Beautiful.
So magical.
So beautiful. I think that it might actually be my favorite place that I've ever traveled to.
You're kidding.
No.
What's it? It's the plant.
It's Canadorable.
It is Canadorable. So things just grow. Things just grow there. It's very green.
Jean likes plants a lot.
I love plants.
There's a beautiful, what's it called?
It's a botanical garden.
It's giant. It was a whole day.
There's a beautiful plant place, Lindsey.
Words are hard.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was magical. Jean took 4,000 photos that I guarantee she hasn't looked at again.
Yes, I have.
Lies.
No, recently.
It was magical.
I mean, I'm feeling Canada lazy. I feel like I've been to Toronto once for a couple of days and I didn't even get that deep into it. And I get that it's a cool place, but is Victoria a big city, a small town?
It's not.
Town?
It's small. It's quaint. It feels very homey. Like,
yeah.
You're walking around on these cobblestone paved ways.
It feels a little Europe-y.
Yeah.
It does.
And British Columbia's to the east.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, other east. West.
West?
It's on the Pacific.
It's right on the Pacific?
Yeah. Victoria's on an island, kind of. Like, you can take a ferry there from Seattle.
Gotcha.
And then Vancouver's real close, too.
Okay, yeah.
But
I should have known that. I fucked up.
You're American. You don't know geography.
Yeah. Which one is Montreal?
Montreal is east.
Yes, east, but what's the state?
The province.
The province? God damn it, Lindsey.
I don't know.
She was married to a Canadian.
Yeah, I used to be married to a Canadian. I should know more than I do, but I haven't been east of Calgary.
Yeah.
So
it's the one that Anthony Bourdain went to, and it looked awesome when he was ice fishing and eating that fucking 7-course. Yeah, Quebec.
Yeah.
Quebec, if you're going to be a Quebecois.
Quebecois.
Or Quebecoise.
I know my hockey teams, but...
You know your hockey teams?
I know my hockey teams.
That makes one of us.
I was like, oh God, don't quiz me.
Wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't know if you were lying to me or not.
In Montreal?
Who?
The Terracho.
Yeah, I think so.
The Terracho is good in Montreal?
There's a festival
that's coming up. So Guani and Liliana are organizing it.
Yeah, he's almost everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lot of places, but it's small everywhere. The scenes are kind of small, except maybe in
Europe.
Lisbon and a couple other places.
Paris,
it's big.
Mm-hmm. Really big. They have social dancing, like Kizomba social dancing almost every night of the week in Paris.
Yeah. Like, a lot of instructors come out of Paris.
Mm-hmm. Like
I don't really want to go to
bars
Paris, though.
You mean to dance or in general?
In general. I want to go to Lisbon.
You haven't been to Paris?
I've been to Paris, but I was like 18 years old, so it's been a while.
Mm-hmm. See, Paris, I'm the weirdo that I love Paris and Rome, but not in like a tourist I have to see everything way. Like, I love both of those cities just to be there and wander.
Like the vibe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to get away from the main streets. Mm-hmm. Like, if someplace looks touristy, go down a dark alley and then you'll find like the real good shit. Like food and cute little bars and all of the magic.
Yeah, I like wandering around Prague. That's the main city that I feel that way about, come to think of it. I love Berlin, but it's not a wandering city. I had a good time wandering in Venice, but I don't really want to go back soon.
I haven't been to any of those cities. I have been to Lisbon, though, and it's probably my favorite city in Europe. So,
you know, you're not the first person to say that to me.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason,
stretch of the imagination.
Everyone there is, for some reason, like, doesn't hate Americans. Like, they're like, oh, you're American, let's talk about movies. They're just like
Instead
lovely.
Of let's talk about Trump.
Right. Well, I went there pre-Trump, but yeah, it was like 2014, 2015, something like that.
That was the Obama years. I think that was a good time for Americans.
Yeah, it was not the worst time, but still, it's weird because there's been a lot. But the food is amazing, and it's like 60% of the price of the rest of any major European city. And
You're
I like
making
that.
me hungry.
I know.
I
think
really
the price
want
matters.
like bread and olive oil and delicious pastas and wine.
Let's go to Italy then.
Yes, please.
Now I'm gonna try and
Let's go.
I'm gonna try and swing Lisbon for the first time in January.
Ooh.
Which, I mean,
Yeah.
Europe in the winter, whatever, but I think Lisbon will be all right. It's kind of Mediterranean, and
That's when I went in January.
Really?
I went like right after Christmas
Tell me,
with
tell
my
me,
best
tell me.
friend. I don't know. Just wander, bring layers.
what's the what was the weather like? Logistically?
It was
'Cause it's harder to travel with warm clothes. I try to travel light. I don't check bags, and
you just need like one nice warm layer just in case.
all right, I
kind
got
of.
it. It's been my pea coat lately.
Yeah.
I'm sure people this winter think I own no other clothes. I actually do, but I have trouble messing with perfection.
I just
Because I'm like, this looks so good. Why should I wear
Well,
it?
it goes
True.
with everything.
Wait, so I have this one pair of shoes that I think I've worn every single day that I go to work. And it's this simple, flat, black pair of shoes. And it goes with everything. She picked them out for me.
They're lovely.
Yeah, they're really lovely.
If you need help shopping, just call Lindsey.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I will hand you my credit card and just be like, please, here's my budget. Pick out some clothes for me. I love you. Thank you. But I'm pretty sure the people that I work with just think that I don't own any other pair of shoe. But I just love them so much because they go with everything.
Are those the ones that your dog ate and you bought them again?
Yeah.
They're that cute. They're so cute. They're just so simple.
They're so cute that I bought them in a different color the second time around that I had to buy them. I know. I have tan suede ones in addition to the black
I
ones.
haven't seen them.
What do you
This is
mean
why
you
Joe
haven't seen
Rogan
them?
only interviews men for his podcast.
That's sad.
I
Don't
know.
start with me, Paul.
I'm just fucking with you. Keep talking about
You
shoes.
started talking about fashion. I'm sorry.
You're right. I brought it up.
Mr. I love my pea coat and it goes with everything. And
Yeah,
I
but
can't
it was
mess with
about
perfection.
packing. I'm sorry, I rained on your shopping
No, that's
parade.
fair. That's super fair. Coats are the hardest thing, especially when you like live in Texas
Mm.
and can't really like wrap your brain around the fact that you really will be cold when you go somewhere else. It's super weird.
My peacoat did fine in Japanese late fall, and it got a little. I think I got lucky. It wasn't very chilly and rainy in Tokyo when I was there, so it got a little bit close to it, but it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about the dead of winter though. My friend was trying to encourage me to come visit her in Moscow in January and February.
That sounds like a lot. That
Yeah,
sounds
it is
real
a lot.
cold.
It's like we'll get you a fur coat, and I was like, damn. And I was tempted. Don't get me wrong, I was fucking tempted just because people don't do it. Like I like
Yeah.
doing things that people don't do.
Yeah, it's off the list of the top 10
Yes,
must go to.
but I love wandering around Prague. It's probably my favorite place to wander. I like Berlin mostly because of the tango. Like the tango is awesome in Berlin, and I haven't been to Kizomba, but I'm guessing it's probably good. But I haven't been since I've started Kizomba, or at least since I felt comfortable and confident in Kizomba.
I'm trying to imagine some like stereotypical German perfection mixing with kizomba, and it's kind of cracking me up internally.
The thing that makes me happy about German dance is contrasting it with what I dealt with in Italy. Excuse me. In Rome, especially.
Germany v. Italy is always hilarious. to
Yeah,
think
right?
about.
So in Rome, there was like multiple tango dances listed every night. And the thing that I liked better about Germany is if you go online, look at Facebook, look at databases and forums, you see there's a tango dance at this place at this time. You go to that place and that time and there's a fucking tango dance. Not so in Rome. A lot of boarded up buildings and too long a subway ride to go do something else.
That sounds like my trip to Mexico City.
Really?
Hey, there was dancing when
There
we
was
showed up
dancing. Okay, so we have a story. We recently traveled to Mexico City.
with a bunch of people that I knew. I had one friend and he was like, come with me. And I invited Jean. And I didn't really know any of the other people. They were all great, but they weren't dancers.
No.
They're like
And-
my friends, like gym buddies. They're great humans, but not dancers.
And we had reached out to some local friends here in Austin. And we were like, hey, we're traveling to Mexico City. Can you please connect us with other Kizomba dancers that live in Mexico City? And so they did. And one of the people in Mexico City was celebrating her birthday. So we wanted to go show up. And we
She invited us to her birthday party.
She
and
did.
She didn't know us, and it was so lovely.
It was super, super
so
lovely.
lovely.
Honestly, fantastic dancing. Like, these people that we were traveling with just didn't know what was up. But we show up to the location, and
after quite an adventurous day and
In
a
Mexico City.
few hours at, what was that place called? La Faena. It was a local bar, like a locals bar. We were the only
La
white
Faena?
people in there. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was like ceilings falling down, and there were shots of tequila and tecates and
so much tequila.
it was. So we finished up there by 10 p.m., which if you dance kizomba, you know that like
The real dancing
Early.
doesn't start until midnight.
Yeah.
So we went back to our Airbnb with everybody. I crawled in bed to go to sleep, and Jean's like, "We're going dancing," and I was like, "I'm too tired."
And then I was like, well, too bad. I have a Uber waiting for us downstairs. Get your ass dressed and let's go.
And she was like, "But everybody's going," and I'm like, "What? Other people are coming with us?
I
have
rallied.
to see what happens."
I
So everyone
rallied
you were
them.
traveling with,
Yeah.
and they
few
weren't
of them.
dancers.
They were not dancers, but I
Okay.
was like, come on, we're going to go to this dance party. It's going to be fantastic. And I was so excited about it. They
They'll be
might
girls.
not have
They'll be boys.
they might not have been as excited. It's fine. They didn't have to go, but they chose to get into the Uber with me anyway. It's fine.
20-minute Uber ride across Mexico City, which is always an adventure
Yeah.
because there's traffic all times of day. And
Yeah, if
it's
you've never
real
been,
weird.
not a small place.
No.
It's amazing, though. Highly
gorgeous.
recommend.
Oh yeah, I
Have-
love Mexico City.
have food trucks. Yeah, so we get there and we get out of the Uber and we're trying to find it. And the address is basically just like to this gate into an alleyway. You know,
All right.
as you do.
It was dark,
It was
but it
dark
was fine.
and
It
late.
felt safe.
Was it like bougie or
No.
No.
gritty? All right.
It was normal.
Okay.
It was what you would expect.
For somebody's apartment.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's randomly in Mexico City.
Right.
And we finally are buzzing this thing and finally get in, and like 3 of us make it in there. A couple people disappear. One of them finally I don't know, the one person that came in with us was like, I'm gonna go find everybody. Disappeared. They left. They went to the Four Seasons.
Yeah. They were like,
Wait, this was all
Screw
the
you
non-dancers that you guys were
yeah.
with?
They were like, this is really sketchy.
Yeah.
And we were just like,
How far did they make? Did they make it into the apartment?
They walked in and they looked around. They saw that all the lights were off and there was this like disco ball light going on.
That sounds awesome.
With lots of awesome music and
Kizomba.
people dancing.
and people dancing, yeah.
And people dancing. There was birthday cake involved too. It's fantastic.
Had they ever seen Kizomba dancing? Because it looks like
Only
something.
when I led Lindsey in the very local bar.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I think I tried to lead you to reggaeton, and it was not happening very.
I think
very
we
gracefully.
bachated. I do not dance bachata.
I did bachata with you.
And then we bachated.
We did.
I think that a lot
We
of
were
people.
super white. We were so white. We were the whitest white people have ever whited.
I just have to embrace my whiteness. I'm
It was
sorry. I'm
awkward.
super pale.
How was the
have
party?
It was fantastic. I stayed until I couldn't dance anymore / keep my eyes open.
Do
And
you guys
then
speak Spanish?
A little bit.
I did like Spanish in high school and then Italian in college, and so to get to Spanish I have to go through Italian, which is really awkward. So I understand things, but then by the time I get it out of my mouth, the conversation has moved on. So
Right.
no, I'll just say no.
You just felt like saying more words? I had the same experience
Awkward.
where I went Spanish in high school, French in college, and I took a little bit of Portuguese. And I actually do okay with Spanish, but I don't really understand people unless they slow down. And I got to be more confident about being like, hey, if you slow down, I will understand you, because I feel like people appreciate that.
I think there's a scene in Billy Madison for this when the lady is trying to teach him Spanish and he's like, slow down.
You know, it's been too long since I've watched Billy Madison.
Más despacito.
No,
Okay.
no más despacito. But yeah, I think that seeing Kizomba, if you're not used to it, is probably a lot.
It is. Well,
Yeah.
the dance itself is very complicated. I think that we're so used to it at this point that we just kind of know, okay, this dance has a lot of cues. You listen to your partner a lot. You actually do need to know steps and frame and connection in order to be able to execute it well. And there's a lot of energetic investment that goes into understanding the dance of kizomba or urban kiz.
But watching people dance kizomba, if you've never seen it, looks like people standing up having sex. I mean, not really, but like that's what all of my friends. So I had this birthday party, and it was like half dancers and half non-dancers. And my non-dancer friends were like, what is happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of bug eyes. Holy shit, if you're not used to seeing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand. Are you married now? Are you pregnant? What?
Right. But the reality of it is it's a very like connected but safe technical dance. Like it's just like subtle and sweet and fun and lovely.
It's basically like a walking meditation. Like when you actually understand technique and you understand connection and you understand the subtle body movements that are happening within it, you can literally dance with the same person for an hour and a half and have it feel like 10 minutes. So you're just there, and then you're in the moment. You are present. You aren't necessarily in your brain, hopefully, too much, unless you start worrying about your technique, like I do, because, you know, who doesn't worry about that sometimes? Let's be real here. We're all human.
Yeah, I just fall apart if I think.
Yeah.
I just can't dance if I think.
So kizomba literally forces you to be completely present with the person in front of you.
And that's probably why it looks so intimate. And it is intimate. And there's dancing happening on 6th Street tonight that looks a lot more like sexual intercourse. But for someone to see two people in like a really connected, present, intense kizomba dance with each other, I understand them being like, should I look away? Are we, am I intruding right now? I feel like I'm present for something.
It's precious. Yeah. I think it's really precious to watch two people, especially when you're in a hug dance. You know, like it's one thing to be dancing to kizomba or urban, and including a lot of steps and a lot of saidas, a lot of virgulas or whatever, you know, versus like you're being intimately held by a human being in a way that is just human, and you're just feeling how they move. You're literally sharing energy with that other person for however long it feels good for you. And you each have the latitude to be able to express yourself and to be able to express like what you're listening to in the music. And also just like creating the subtle layer of tenderness that you can convey to another human being without ever saying a word. You don't even have to speak in order to convey the things that you're feeling, and then witnessing that is beautiful. It's just beautiful,
especially when you know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And watching people, it's just like, oh, they're having that moment. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And to go ahead.
I want to say something, because I think it's important for people to understand about dance, and especially kizomba. And kizomba is really my only dance, so it's my like jam. But Jean introduced me to kizomba a little over a year ago, and I was like out of some like relationship trauma and like very single, and the thing that I really got out of kizomba dancing and learning and just learning to be present in my body with another human was non-sexual physical touch. And it's so magical to have like that connection with somebody and not have to think about it, not have to worry about it, but you get your physical touch needs met in this like profoundly intimate way that's non-sexual. And it's something that I really didn't realize existed until I started dancing. And it's lovely.
There's also things that you can learn about yourself just through dance. Like when I first found dancing, period, I decided to show up to a local studio, and I was trying out salsa and bachata. And then I found kizomba, and the thing that I realized about myself in the period of time when I was actually discovering what kizomba was as a dance was that I could not release, I could not surrender to a lead. It was too emotional for me to be able to surrender power to somebody that I knew nothing about, and who would have complete control over me and my body and my situation. And like at that period of time in my life, I was going through a divorce that was completely devastating to me. And I was trying to figure out like what I was doing in my life, and also sorting through a lot of PTSD, to be honest, because of that relationship. And it taught me how to surrender and how to become vulnerable with another human being. And I can remember the first time that I allowed myself to become vulnerable. I was in a hug dance with a local dancer, and we were just doing little subtle movements, and I felt my whole body relax into it. And then I felt like I was just gonna bawl my eyes out. I was like, holy shit, I'm safe. Wow. And like, what a profound moment to have when you're dancing, when you're sharing space with somebody else, when you've been through the fucking ringer and the person that was like supposed to really take care of you didn't. And then you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable with somebody who doesn't necessarily take care of you. But there we are.
They don't know what they're getting into. They're just there to dance.
Right? They're just like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And you're like, I'm just having a moment. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Just don't look at me. It's okay. I'm just going to cry right now. It's fine. But it's fine. And that happens all the time when you're doing any kind of movement of your body and you're allowing yourself to surrender in a safe environment.
Well, I think that's an amazing note to end on. So, Jean and Lindsey, if you want to do a quick final rundown of what's in the near future for Body Collective and how people can get involved or reach out to you or become involved with your vision.
Absolutely. So within the coming months, we're about to have a membership pre-sale. We'll be hosting pop-up events around Austin. So we'll be posting about that on Facebook, on Instagram, on our website, www.austinbodycollective.com. You can reach either one of us at info@austinbodycollective.com. And we'll be able to give you more information about events that will have come up. We'll also be posting about the progress of the construction of the studio, the schedule of what we'll have, all of the lovely instructors that we're going to be hosting, and hopefully we'll be able to share with you our grand opening in spring of 2020.
That covers it.
And it's Austin Body Collective?
Yes, Austin Body Collective. There you go.
All right, Jean Devlin and Lindsey Morrison of Austin Body Collective, thank you so much. I love you guys. It's been awesome talking to you.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, we're out.